Simon, Vince. Okay, we've already gone over the instructions back in the dressing room. I just want to emphasize 3 things. Protect yourself at all times. Keep your punches up and obey my commands. Shake hands now. Good luck to both of you.
Final instructions from referee Ray Klingmeyer from Maryland. Vincent Pettway, polished boxer. But even today as a champion, he cannot shake the label of questionable chin, the result of being knocked out by fighters who are not known as big punchers. He does have knockout power. Here's Simon Brown, 3-time world champion, originally from Jamaica, where he had very little exposure to boxing. He was a soccer player. A fighter, though, who is very exciting, very effective when pressing the action from close range. He's got that potent left hook. Superb finisher, strong chin, and as we pointed out, he's never been stopped. Because he's so low-key outside the ring, he doesn't get the headlines, but an extremely respected fighter, Mike Tyson, is Simon Brown, who really can pack a wallop.
Hey, there's no doubt about that, Steve. Simon Brown's a wise veteran fighter. He's been around for many years. And as we see here, he's looking to make history and being a 4-time world champion. And I'm not too familiar with Mr. Pettway here, but we don't see much action here. He's moving around, and as I said, it's pretty early here. Maybe something will heat up.
Well, I think the first thing, Mike, is that the difference in opponent is huge. I mean, you know, Simon Brown's fought everybody. He's been champion, and Pettway has not fought that quality opponent, so he's got to be a little worried about what he's got in front of him in Simon Brown.
But then again, sometimes you have these fighters that rise to the occasion. Maybe he's one of these fighters. I don't know. I said once before, I'm not so familiar with Pettway.
Well, it's generally not his style, Mike, but Pettway can engage in physical warfare if necessary, as witnessed in the first fight with Rossi, and an ugly brawl. The rematch, all Pettway, 4th-round knockout for the title, and he doesn't want to get into a war with Simon Brown.
Exactly. He's not fighting Rossi right this moment.
Yeah, the difference there is right, Mike. He's not fighting Rossi. Rossi moves a lot more than does Simon Brown. Doesn't pack quite the same wallop as Brown. Brown has something that Pettway has to be leery of. He's got to use his speed, use his legs, use his, it's not a lot, but youth in this particular regard, because he doesn't have the same mileage on his body either.
But Bobby, as you see right here, Simon fighting this fight as he did when he fought Bertie McGirt. He's not setting the big punches up. He's coming in, he's linging, and he's not moving his head, and this can be, you know, dangerous. I notice Simon every now and then when he fights the big fights, every now and then, this is not something that happens on a steady basis. He gets a little stiff, and he seems stiff in this first round. As we know, Simon's a World One fighter, and he's not doing it at this moment.
But many of Simon's fights don't even start till the 4th or 5th round. He's one of these guys that wakes up in 4 or 5.
I'll tell you what, they caught each other with decent left hooks there. Yep. Neither one looking too much the worse for wear.
Mike mentioned Buddy McGirt. That's one of 3 losses. Pettway is down, and he is dazed. He is wobbling, trying to compose himself. Wobbling legs.
12 seconds to go. Not enough time, but here comes.
There's enough time. There's enough time. He hurt Simon. Hit Simon with a right hand.
Hold your punches. Hold your punches.
No
How do you
time.
like that? As the bell
Bertie
sounds.
hit Simon with a right hand, and Simon came in.
Take a look at that knockdown. Simon can shock you and surprise you because his punches, there's a left hook right on the button, and look at the dance this guy does. That's what you call being knocked down.
You know, he uses good timing, does Simon Brown. He knows what's going on. You see him working his way in. He throws the right hand, it counters, and boom, there's the hook right in the temple, top of the head. And the legs are not under Pettway. Simon finishes up, doesn't let him hold on, beats him to the floor.
Well, the 4 times he lost, Pettway, he's lost by that route, the knockout or the knockdown or the stoppage. And so it figures he's the one that hadn't got the chin, not Simon Brown.
All right, let's see what happens. Round 2. Pettway down with about 18 seconds left of the first.
And he still doesn't have his legs. He still seems wobbly.
There's spaghetti under there. They're still not moving right. He's not moving right on those legs.
What an explosion by Simon Brown. We talked about the left hook, just missing there with the left hook.
I'll tell you what, sometimes when you get hit that hard that early, respect turns immediately into fear.
Here's a good point, brother.
And a left jab.
And that's what our friend Mike calls evil intentions. That's what Simon is fighting with. He says he had to get vicious, and he felt very vicious for this fight. Well, he certainly opened it up that way.
He just missed a good counter right hand by Simon Brown, and he's starting to get that rhythm and starting to get his timing down. And I don't think this fight's going to get outside 2 more rounds.
Well, Pettway said to us he didn't want to trade punches with Brown. And this is really getting ugly for Vincent Pettway. Trying to bounce around, regain his composure, and keeping his distance from Brown, particularly that left hook.
Part of the problem for Pettway is going to be if his legs aren't under him, he can't move smoothly, and that's going to be a huge problem with a puncher like Simon Brown right in front of him.
If Simon doesn't get careless and continue to come in without moving his head, this fight is just a long-gone conclusion. He has his hands down. Absolutely, but I've seen fights when he just came right at people and he's just a whirlwind, as I stated earlier.
Well, Simon, who has usually waits till 4 or 5, but if he can get you early, he does. Most of the time, he just plays around and all of a sudden starts unloading that dynamite he's got. Well, he started very early this time. He looks like he wants to go home early.
But he's not coming in behind the jab, and you know that's the very fundamental way to land the bomb, Ferdy.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that, Mike. I'm surprised. He's a very good fighter, and he can jab very well. Apparently, he got rich off that one punch, and he thought, I can just hit this guy one shot. I don't need to jab.
Sometimes that's what happens when you have a reputation as being A, a big puncher, and B, your opponent has a questionable chin in his reputation. You can start looking for that one big one, and sometimes some rounds will slip by that you lose.
All right, now he's letting Vincent Pettway's head clear, and his legs are getting much, much better now.
He should punch to the body with that big right hand that he's missing. All the punches that he missed to the head, them big winging punches from long distance, he should throw them to the body because at least he knows he's going to hit something solid. Elbows, arms, something.
It's interesting because Brown
right hand by Pettway that land on Brown's chin.
as he sees it, this fight goes to the late rounds, but he's trying to put an end to it here early with 10 seconds to go in the second round. He had Pettway down late in the first round with a vicious left hook. But Pettway surviving through round 2.
He has let him get away.
Keep your hands up. After you punch, block. After you punch, you block. Okay? Punch and block. Punch and block. Keep your hands close to your face. You do sneak punches now. You gotta watch him try to sneak punches. He's trying to sneak that right hand on you. Okay? If you catch him coming in, throw your right hand, beat him to the punch.
Let's take a look at that right hand that still lands, but not as good. It wasn't as solid. He wasn't coming in. He was sliding away.
You know, he didn't really follow through with it, Ferdy. He kind of countered a quick, sharp one, just dropped it over the jab. Not real powerful.
You're hurting now. Don't lay back. All right? Come on now. Let's go, baby. Keep that punch.
All we heard is a snatch of that conversation. That's all he had to say. Don't lay back. Don't lay back. Come on. Get this guy out of here. Don't go to sleep on us.
Vincent Pettway buying some time to recover there in round 2. There's a little too much moisture in that Simon Brown corner. Referee Ray Klingmeyer holding things up for the moment as they towel it off.
That's good.
Simon Brown, who told us that a key for him could be the left hook or the right uppercut because Pettway opens himself up for those punches, and true to his word. And the words of 76-year-old Matt Lewis in the corner of Vincent Pettway. Over 50 years in the business, only one champion, Vincent Pettway. But right now, Simon Brown in a very good position to take that title away. Round 3. Right uppercut by Vincent Pettway.
Simon's come out this round starting to work the body a little more, maybe lulling Pettway to dropping his hands to come over the top again, because I'm sure he feels that if he lands clean, he can hurt Pettway at will.
Now, Bobby, if I'm wrong, tell me, if Simon comes in, is he off his feet when he's lunging with these punches?
He's been doing a little bit of that, Mike, which I'm surprised. He's not following in. He's got a good jab that he uses, but he's been jumping in a little bit. I guess maybe over anxious because of the early knockdown.
Exactly. Normally when a guy goes in trying to look for a knockout, he loses the decision. Hopefully that's not the case here.
Well, it seems like Pettway has been able to recover from that punishment he took in round 1. Now he's bouncing around on the balls of his feet and eluding those right hands by Brown.
He's getting brave now. He's doing some fighting back. Last round was sort of get together and escape. This round is starting to fight and come back.
Good lateral movement by Pettway. Good lateral movement. Good evasiveness.
Pettway does have good hand and leg speed. He knows how to come in at the angles. There's a left hook by Vincent Pettway.
See, there's where the difference is, guys. On the inside, Simon Brown gets hit with the Sunday punch. He has confidence in his chin. And Pettway right now. Just as I speak, the devil jumps up and bites me.
A right hand lead.
Beautiful right hand counter. Twisted turn and drops Simon right in his track.
Bobby, you were saying?
Yeah, that's it.
And a minute to go. A minute, a lot of time left. In the third round, can Pettway finish Brown off now? What a turnaround to this fight.
And as I stated earlier, sometimes fighters rise to the occasion, as we see Pettway did. And he was hit with a good left hook, Pettway. This is a war.
This is the first time Simon Brown's been in this kind of trouble. All the time I've been watching there.
He still isn't.
He was staggered, Simon Brown. Simon Brown has never been stopped in his career.
I'll tell you what, though, Pettway's still moving. He's not attacking too much. He's coming from the outside. He's fighting smart.
20 seconds left in the third round.
Pettway's fighting like a master, and Simon's taking these punches off the chin.
But Simon's getting in big trouble. See, his legs are going. Simon is in big trouble here.
10 seconds left. A lot of time in boxing.
Combination of the head by Pettway. Brown fires a left hook back. Back comes Pettway to the midsection. As the bell sounds.
And we have a war tonight.
What a finish to a round. I don't think anybody here expected to see Simon Brown on the ground tonight, and he was down there.
More water, water. He's winning the whole fight now. You know what?
And Pettway.
Get that water. Now what you got to do is move your head. No, you got caught up here. Right? Now relax. You're in a fight, boy. I told you it was going to be rough. Well, you just got caught with a good shot.
I, for one, like to see this knockdown, to see exactly where that punch landed. I can't believe my eyes the way Simon Brown went down a right hand, right over that left.
Pinpoint accuracy by Vincent Pettway.
It was a perfect right hand. You watch it. He counters it. He turns his body back. Bang.
Bang.
Turns the weight right in, right on the chin.
You can't hardly do it better.
And Simon Brown still looked like he hasn't done his legs well.
Simon Brown down a minute 49 in the round 3. Still a lot of wetness around Brown's corner.
That's smart. That gives him a lot of time. He's not moving in a great motion, in fluid motion. He's moving in kind of a herky-jerky motion.
Imagine the confidence in Vincent Pettway after this tremendous knockdown and the beating that he just gave Simon Brown at the end of that round.
So the strategy by Pettway to stay away from Brown in that second round, allowing him time to recover, and then he comes back with a vicious right hand that sends Brown to the canvas.
And Mike, what could be going through Simon Brown, a three-time champion, not used to going down, and he finds himself. Mike, what do you think when something like that happens to you?
Well, in this particular case, he was overconfident. He dropped this man earlier with a vicious left hook, and right now I know he's saying I must take it easy and just pace myself and look for the knockout. And hopefully he'll come in behind the jab and moving his head. As you notice, he did that because his left hand was down after he threw his jab, similar to what Max Mellon did to Joe Louis in 1936.
Yeah, we've seen two fights that have a great similarity with that right hand domination.
And I was talking about Simon Brown being confident with his chin, and sometimes that confidence will lead to just that kind of mistake.
The public on his feet, some hollering Simon, Simon, some Vince.
A crowd of just over 7,000 in attendance here.
Simon looks clear now. He's looking for the knockout. A warrior to the end. He continues to have the predatory approach here in this particular event.
He reminds me a lot of Zuma Nelson. He just
a great left hand, flush on the face by Brown. But Pettway, who comes in with the questionable chin, hanging in there.
It was kind of a rising hook or an uppercut, but it was a cross between the two, but it landed clean.
Here's another one.
You have to understand, Steve, this is rivalry. He's fighting at a level that he would normally never fight just because he has to go back home.
And Simon Brown says he brings out the best in opponents. IBF junior middleweight title at stake.
Side-to-side movement by Pettway here.
good stuff.
Right hand.
Lunging by Simon Brown.
And back comes Brown to the midsection with uppercuts with the left hand.
Gentlemen, I still think that the chin is going to be the difference in this match. Before this is over, it's going to be who can sustain the most punishment.
Simon Brown needs to come in with the jab. I can't believe he's lunging in. Such an experienced fighter.
I think he's mad. I think he's no longer boxing. I think he's fighting now.
Simon Brown, who was put on the canvas earlier for only the second time in his career. The first time was back in 1991 at the hands of Buddy McGirt, one of his 3 losses. But that was a decision. All 3 of his losses by decision. He's never been KO'd or TKO'd. 10 seconds left in the 4th round. Incredible pace.
Pettway has fought a fight like if he had been down the last time. He ran the whole time.
Simon Brown has to continue to use the jab.
Down in there. You're back on top now. All right. Now you're back on top. All right. Now you're back up on top. Give me your mouth, please. Hey, Simon. Remember what we worked on? How a guy keeps moving that way on you? You got to lead off with your right hand. Left hook, right hand. When you move this way, left hook, right hand. Move around this side. That right hand down here. And this straight right hand. Right, and roll. Roll your head. You're okay, baby. You're okay. Right. You won that round? It's a guy. Nothing there. A dangerous fighter. Nothing there. Be careful. He's a dangerous fighter. Keep your hands close to your face. Up deep. Up deep. All right, let's go.
Round number 5.
Unofficially, I have Simon Brown ahead as the 5th round start. But boy, this is ebb and flow. One takes one round, one takes the other. This is going back and forth.
This is almost like the first Hopkins-Mercado fight.
Exactly what I was going to say. Took the words out of my mouth.
Pettway fighting very cautious and smart, in my opinion.
I wonder, should he have been that?
Hitting on the break. Ray Klingmeyer in the face of both fighters.
Let him fight.
2 warnings, Steve, so...
Both had 2 fights, 2 warnings. Both of them had.
Nice right hook there by Simon Brown that landed, but bouncing right off the face of Pettway. What a left hook missing by Brown, and Pettway looking to take advantage.
Nice uppercut to the body by Simon Brown.
And he hurt Pettway with that body.
He did. He stopped him straight right in his tracks. Very seldom do you see somebody stop a guy with a body shot like that.
Simon Brown with a chopping right hand to the top of Pettway's head.
I'll tell you what, all this movement, all this jumping around that Pettway does too takes a lot of energy. Rounds 8, 9, 10, 11 show up. That energy could be a big factor.
And Brown will be there.
There seems to be a little cut above Brown's eye, but it looks like just a nick. It doesn't look like much.
Pettway's giving good movement, even though he's not throwing punches. It's frustrating towards the challenger.
But I think he's losing points that way. I don't think he's winning.
Oh! Again, Pettway is in trouble as he goes through the rope. Minute 30 and counting in round 5.
Steve, the referee didn't see a low blow there. He hit Pettway in the groin. Pettway backed over, and he hit him with a right hand and another right hand through the rope.
And Ray Klingmeyer, the ref, is saying, I didn't see any low blow. Pettway complaining to Klingmeyer with a minute 10 to go in the 5th.
Well, he's sure giving him enough time to get ready, to recover. But that's exactly what happened, Bobby. He got hit a low blow. The referee didn't see it. And shouldn't he continue to fight Simon Brown?
Well, Simon Brown must continue to fight. I would have done the same thing. That's what a fighter must do.
Pettway wants time to recover, but Klingmeyer says they see the low blow, so they go back at it. Hold it right now, hold it. And it is really getting dirty.
Pettway went right at him. 2 punches right in the groin.
I'm telling you both to keep punches up.
You just don't push around the referee. He showed a bad attitude to the referee there. He could get disqualified, and this would be a shame in this fight.
And here comes Brown pouring it on with left hooks and uppercuts.
Pettway's fighting smart. I just have to give him that. He's fighting smart. Hands up, moving his head, countering Simon Brown, even though Simon's coming in with those haymakers.
Nice feint to the right by Pettway, and then throwing the left cross.
I'll tell you what, Simon Brown, when he hit him in the groin, he bent him over. He hesitated. The referee did nothing, and so he just fired away.
And that comes from the experience of Simon Brown.
And
he continues to punch until the referee breaks him apart.
Exactly.
Left cross again, right into the face of Pettway.
Boy, this Simon Brown is something. Punch him, keep fighting.
They continue to fight after the bell. Pettway landing with a right after the bell.
Is this thing getting crazy?
Aaron Stoll, the
we got
trainer for Simon Brown, all over the referee.
The referee's got to take control. Let's listen. What's obviously happened ever since he went through that ropes, the referee lost control of this fight. He's not been able to calm these two fighters down, and now it's getting really out of control, and he hasn't done anything about it. Let's look at the replay. This has got to be interesting. Now let's look at the low blow. Keep your eye on Simon. There it is. Now the scream. Down. 1, 2, out of the ring. Now, Bobby, that's nothing that he could help. He should do that.
But it would be a big shame if that foul caused this to happen. And this is something that's going to be very, very prominent in the judging and the scoring later.
Round 6.
Round 6, a little sermon by the referee. Come on, boys. Let's not have that.
And a very, very tipped off Vincent Pettway starts the round. Pettway, who went after Brown after the bell.
Oh my. Simon seems frustrated, but the punches he is throwing.
He's winging in big shots. Mike's coming around with everything.
If anything lands, we're going to have a long night.
And once again, Vincent Pettway telling us yesterday he didn't want to trade punches with this man, but it has turned
Pettway's
into
going to have a long night.
Well, he ain't got much choice when he's in there with Simon.
Left hook there by Pettway, but it was guarded by Brown.
It's like saying you don't want to trade punches with Tyson when he's in the bunch. If the guy's in your face, what are you going to do? You don't want to? Yeah, well, too bad.
You don't have much choice.
Well, Steve, what he's got to do is what he just did. Use the jab, use his feet, fire 1, 2, 3, and get back out. And when he lands them quick, you saw what happened to Simon Brown with that right hand. He was on the canvas.
Well, Simon Brown is now in control of this fight on the basis of 2 10-8 rounds, and he's been the aggressor, and he's only won a couple of real good rounds from Pettway, so he's in control of, as far as points are concerned, but this looks like it isn't going to go to a decision.
But Bobby, I still don't like the fact he's just walking in without throwing a jab.
And that may have been a butt.
Just butt heads with Vince.
They accidentally banged heads.
Now it's the butt. Now it's the butt they're going to get argued.
And is that a cut? Is that a cut?
You all right? Things being thrown into the ring now.
He had the cut under his eye, Bobby.
The referee
accidentally banged heads. Simon was coming in to throw a punch. Pettway was ducking the block, and they slammed heads.
Yeah, something's in the ring. Somebody's throwing paper in the ring. It's a wrapper. Let's hope nobody slips on it. The referee hasn't seen it yet. Oh, this is a foul fest now.
may not get up.
It's over, guys. This fight's over. He's not getting up.
He is not getting up, Bobby.
Hey,
Out.
it's all over.
Out.
Look at Simon Brown. Convulsions. Oh, let's hope he's all right. What's he doing? He continues to fight on his back, throwing punches on his back. Unbelievable. We got to get help to Simon Brown in bad shape.
Once again, we hope that we're in a place where they got medics and they've learned their lesson. I don't see that. There's a neurosurgeon coming up. Brown looks like he's in trouble, but there's a neurosurgeon. I know him well. He's on the case.
We've seen this too many times, Ferdy. And Bobby.
All right, here we have another situation. I'm going up in the ring and check the medical, but it seems like another one of those nights.
incredibly. While Simon Brown was out cold on his back, he continued throwing punches almost robot-like from his back, sprawled out. I've never seen anything like
I can only think that it's his fighting instincts and his subconscious still wanting to go on. I cannot understand what was going on there. Just a reflex action at best. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm impressed with Vincent Pettway. He has come of age.
There is bedlam in the ring right now. Vincent Pettway celebrating at one end and the concern for Simon Brown at the other. Does this strike a chord? Oh,
I'll tell you what, Steve.
I don't want to see McClellan and Ben all over again, believe me.
Steve, I've seen many men knocked out like that, some worse. I've been on the delivering end of some of those, and he's okay. Well, you watch it again. Pettway still doing his moving and using his quick counters. Simon missing some big shots, and it's a speed again. A 1-2, he ducks in and catches him clean, catches him looking, turns right into him. His head slammed into the canvas, Steve, which could have just added to insult to injury, so to speak.
What a left hook.
Bobby, as you notice, as he's throwing the punch, he beats him to the punch. As you're going to see right here, he throws his right hand right here. The left hook comes, bang! His head's up in the air. He knocks him cold. Matter of fact, he's so incoherent. He's throwing punches as he's down. He thinks he's still fighting.
Look at this reaction off the textbook knockout by Vincent Pettway. Still throwing punches while on his back, Simon Brown.
It's amazing, Steve.
Vincent Pettway continues to celebrate. Meanwhile, Marilyn Boitano, the physician in attendance, working over there in that cluster, in that crowd with Simon Brown. And some final offers of prayer for Vincent Pettway in the other corner. What a scene here at the U.S. Air Arena in Landover, Maryland. Vincent Pettway, in his first title defense, defends his IBF Junior Middleweight Championship in dramatic fashion. He was knocked down in the first round. He came back, he recovered. Simon Brown seems to be better now. A little smile as he hugs Vincent Pettway. He's sitting on the stool over there. And now they're applying the oxygen to Simon Brown, taking no chances. Standing by for the official announcement from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Let me have all the water in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes, 7 seconds in round number 6. The referee counts to 10. The winner by way of knockout and still champion, Vincent Pettway.